Hello and welcome to a guide for split pushing. In this guide, I'll be going over everything that you need to know when you split push. In lower elos, most players don't know how to team fight. However, all 5 people still stay in the mid lane. And that means that 2 waves full of experience and gold are going to complete waste. And split pushing is a way to solve this. Not only does split pushing give you a bunch of gold and XP, it also pressures the enemy's team's turrets and gives you timers to roam and impact the map with a numbers advantage. So it's a great strategy to use, especially in the lower elos. In this guide, I'm going to be going over why you should split push, when you should split push, how you should split push, and give you some tips and tricks. It'll all be time stamped. However, I recommend all of you guys watch the full guide as you'll get all of my insight into those kind of things. But before the video goes on, I just quickly want to say that my 100 subscriber giveaway is still going on. If you want to go check that out, you can check it out right after this video. There will be a link at the end of this video, and there should be a link in the description down below. So check that out if you want to, and if you haven't already joined, it takes about 5 seconds and it's completely free. So if you're looking to win a free skin, then you should go ahead and join that. With that, let's get right into the video. The first thing I want to talk about is why you should split push. And I already talked a little bit about this in the intro, but the first reason you want to split push is to funnel gold and XP to yourself. This is especially important when enemy waves are stacking up. Even if you're a champion that does not specialize in split pushing, like Orianna or another champion that is better suited for team fighting, this does not mean you should never side lane. You should still go into the side lanes when your team is just letting all the farm go away and when the enemy team is already pushing. If the minion waves are already close to your side and the enemy team isn't missing, you should probably farm that side lane wave. Actually, one game in lower elo, I ended up with more gold than the entire enemy team combined. And why did this happen? It was because I was split pushing effectively and got the extra gold from turret plates as well as from minion waves. The next reason why you should split push is that you can take turrets when you split push. Split pushing means that you're pushing the wave into the turret and you can also hit the turret if no one else is around. This allows you to take turrets, and if you do take that inhibitor, then that side lane will just be perma pushing towards the enemy nexus and always be putting pressure. The next reason why you want to be split pushing is to apply pressure to the enemy team. For example, if you are split pushing and no one comes to defend, then as I said, you're going to be taking those turrets down, giving your entire team gold. So if you are split pushing, that means you're hitting the turret and putting pressure on the enemy team, meaning that someone on the enemy team or some people on the enemy team will have to come and defend you. And when this happens, it'll give you roam timers. And this is the fourth reason. When you split push and people come to defend, let's say you're split pushing in the top lane and your enemy top laner comes to defend, there's going to be a wave on the top lane tower, meaning that they will have to clear the wave before they can follow your roam. This means during that time that they're clearing the wave, you can either roam or TP to an objective such as dragon or down mid, where you can force a team fight when you have a numbers advantage, because you'll have 5 people on your team that can fight, whereas only 4 people on the enemy team that can fight, because your enemy is stuck in the top lane having to clear that wave. So that's another reason why you should split push, because you can roam around the map and fights with a numbers advantage. Okay, so my second point in this video is when to split push. So now you know what are the benefits of split pushing and why you should do it. Now I'm going to be talking about when you should do it. So the first reason when you want to split push, as I already said, is you want to have a roam timer and put pressure on the enemy turret. This means that you have a timer to roam, again, to take small objectives like Rift Scuttler if you can solo it, or take large objectives like Baron or Dragon with numbers advantage, or force team fights with a numbers advantage. The next reason why you want to split push, and this is so important because I see very few low elo players doing this, is to trade objectives. Okay, let's make a hypothetical situation. Let's say 2 or 3 of your teammates have died, and now the enemy team is looking to take Baron, and you know that the entire enemy team is taking that Baron. Instead of going and trying to steal the Baron, instead what you should be doing is looking to trade objectives. If they're taking Dragon or Baron, and you know that you're not a champion that can easily steal it, and you know that you're probably not going to steal it, it's 99% of the time not going to work. In that case, you should be split pushing turrets to gain a bunch of gold and experience to yourself. So in the time of them taking Baron, let's say you farm 2 waves full of minions. Because in Wild Rift, each normal wave is worth 200 gold and each cannon wave is worth 300 gold, let's say you farm 5 waves. That means that you've gained 1,200 gold from minions. In Wild Rift, turret plates also provide gold. So if you took the 2 outer turrets and you got all the plates, that means on the outer turret, since each plate gives you 100 gold, you'll gain 300 gold from the outer turret, and for the second turret, you gain 125 gold for each turret plate. That means that you'll gain 375 gold from the second turret. So altogether, you have gained 1,200 gold plus the 675 gold that you've gained from the turret plates, which is equal to 8,075 solo gold just for yourself. And now you also took 2 turrets, which means that you gained 150 gold for every member on your team. So since you took 2 turrets, that's 300 gold for every member on your team, and 300 multiplied by 5 is 1,500. So in all, you've gained 3,375 gold, which is absolutely insane. And you've gained a bunch of experience from the minion waves that you farmed. And this is actually a realistic number because this happens to me all the time in solo queue, where you can funnel a ton of gold to yourself as well as help out your entire team. And more often than not, then you'll get more than this because sometimes enemy waves are stacked up. So that's why side laning is so important. Even when you are a mid laner or ADC or support, you can still side lane because the gold that you get out of it is just absurd, especially in Wild Rift. The next reason when you want to split push is when waves are stacking up for collection, because when waves are stacking up for collection, you'll just be able to get so much solo gold. And in lower elos, people just let waves stack up until they crash a huge wave with a bunch of cannon minions onto your turret and they die or they take the turret. So what you want to be looking to do instead is taking those waves for yourself and getting a bunch of juicy gold and XP all funneled onto yourself. The last reason when you want to split push is when you cannot win the team fight. And you might get flamed for this, and your teammates, like your silver or gold teammates, might be telling you group mid, and you're just split pushing because you know where the enemies are and you know that you can try to get back into the game by funneling those resources on yourself. Then you should probably split push. Tell your team to back off and not to team fight and just split push. This will enable you to catch up to the enemy team and be able to put pressure onto the enemy team. And lastly, you can't even take the enemy nexus without breaking turrets. So split pushes almost are fundamental to winning the game. So when you can't win the team fight, or your champion is better suited for for split pushing. For example, if you're playing a champion that specializes in split pushing like Fiora, then split pushing is again a great idea and something that you should be looking to do more often. The next thing I want to talk about is how to split push. The first thing that you want to be doing when you're split pushing, the first thing that you want to be looking to do is have good map awareness. Now you may be thinking while you're watching this video, hey, every time I split push, my teammates just say don't solo, and then I just die to a gank because everyone collapses on me. Well, yeah, because you weren't looking at the mini map. Most players, when they split push, are just focusing on their champion hitting the turret. No, you shouldn't be focusing on this. You should be focusing on the mini map. And also the second thing you want to be focusing is respawn timers, because when you have better map awareness, you know how many people are alive and where they are, and paying attention to respawn timers so you know when they're gonna meet you inside that lane. The second, and along with map awareness, you want to be having an awareness of how much your champion can take. For example, if you're an assassin like Zed or Fizz in the mid game where you have this huge power spike, you know that if one enemy is missing, you can still 1v1 them and easily win as long as they're not a bruiser or a counter to you. Or let's say it's 2v1, then you have to know your champion's limits. If you're playing Zed and you're fed and the ADC and support are missing from the minimap, then that's completely fine because you can easily 1v2 them and kill them. That's why you need to know your champion's limits, especially when you're carrying. Split pushing not only enables you to get that gold and experience in the side lane, it also enables you to snowball and get those solo kills for that extra gold and XP. That's why you want to be split pushing, so you can snowball and build your lead. So you want to know your limits and be aware of what's going on the map. If you are unsure or unsafe and you know that 5 people are missing on the enemy map and you just saw one of them pathing towards you, you should probably stop split pushing and retreat. And that's why most people die when they're split pushing, is because they don't have enough map awareness or they can't understand where the enemies are. You should be calculating the likelihood of the enemies ganking you, and if you can't take them on, or you don't have a champion with a good escape tool like Fizz, then you should probably be looking to get out of there. So that was my guide for split pushing. I know I didn't get into the really advanced split pushing techniques like how I said with the wave management. However, I believe that this guide will be more than enough for lower elos players to understand split pushing and try it out in their games more often instead of just grouping 5-man in mid. So one thing I want to say before the video ends is that I'm actually gonna go on vacation. So I'm actually going on vacation for the next 4 days, and I'll be on a cruise, so there's gonna be no Wi-Fi, so I won't be able to upload in the next 4 days. But I hope you guys enjoy this video, and definitely right after that I'll be getting back on the grind trying to make videos for you guys. So I'm not going to be missing, it's just that I'm going to be taking a short break because of that. So yeah, with that being said, I just want to thank you for watching this video, and if you watched all the way to the end, leave a comment down below, I'll give you a shout out. And with that being said, I will see you soon. Bye.